Let's install an intake heat shield on my LS1. My engine is out of the car, so that makes this very easy. If your engine is inside the car, you'll have to remove a few things, like fuel lines or intake tubing. To start, remove the 4 bolts that hold the fuel rail in place. Remove the intake bolts, working your way from the center outwards. Pull the intake off, and make sure to tape off the intake ports. If your engine has a dirty valley cover, now is a good time to give it a good cleaning. Peel off the foam that goes in between the intake and the valley cover. I temporarily installed this heat shield to make sure that it would even fit before I did even more work. Four intake bolts are lightly tightened down, and the shield is checked for any potential issues. I don't see any issues here, so let's move on. The next step would be to clean off any grease, oil, or dirt underneath the intake. My intake was dunked in a simple green tank, so it's already very clean. My garage is full of moisture right now, so I warmed up the plastic with a heat gun. Separate the heat shield cover from the adhesive, then set it on the intake. I used a roller to press the material onto the intake. Use the supplied metal tape to secure the heat shield to the intake. Go ahead and remove the tape and make sure that nothing fell inside the intake ports. Drop the intake onto the engine. Install the intake bolts and slightly tighten them down. The intake bolts are torqued down to 89 inch-pounds. Some people start with 44 inch-pounds and then follow up with 88. And remember to follow the exact torque sequence. Reinstall the fuel rails. Some lubricant on the injector O-rings makes this install much easier. Tighten down the fuel rail bolts, and that's it. The idea of this heat shield is to separate heat from the valley cover from the intake. Motor Trend claimed to have seen an 18 horsepower and 20 pound-feet of torque gain on a modified C5 Corvette when using this heat shield. I can't verify this myself because I don't have a dyno, but since my car is an autocross car, any heat management is a welcome sight. Autocross is done at relatively low speeds, so we don't get very much airflow. Unlike a road course, where you might see speeds of an excess of 120 miles an hour, autocross is typically around 50 miles an hour. So any heat that I can isolate from the intake manifold should increase performance at the autocross, but time will tell. Thanks for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel and follow me on Instagram.